Snowden's leaks have uncovered not only the US government's unwarranted surveillance, but also the extent internet and telecom giants have helped them do it. They're accused of using the chance to cash in on taxpayers who are stumping up the cash. RT's Gayane Chichakan examines the surveillance price list.
If you are a U.S. taxpayer, whether or not you agree with the government's wholesale electronic snooping, you're paying for it. And you will probably never know how much exactly, because for the covert world of its unaccountable spying activities, the government has a black budget. But some numbers are available. They refer to law enforcement requests. So according to last year's disclosures, America's telecommunications giants bill the government just as they bill their clients. We have some specifics. Per each wiretap, AT&T, for example, charges an activation fee of $325 plus $10 a day to maintain it. Verizon, another telecommunications giant, takes $775 for the first month and $500 each month after. These numbers may not shock you until you learn that the average wiretap costs U.S. taxpayers $50,000. Given the scope of surveillance, that could amount to a lot of money. But again, these figures are based on disclosed data. As we learned from a number of whistleblowers, and not just Edward Snowden, the U.S. National Security Agency operates under reps, under secret orders. Nobody knows how much exactly they spend to tap fiber optic cables or to collect data on Americans and the rest of the world. But we do know that the NSA storage facility alone costs some $1.7 billion. That data center in Utah is capable of storing every email, voicemail, and social media communication it can get its hands on. The government is certainly very reluctant to discuss its snooping activities with the public. They just repeat the mantra that's done to keep America safe. But as Americans learn more about the price they pay for the presumed safety, they're becoming increasingly wary. In the latest polls, we see a significant shift in public opinion. You see, 3 years ago, 25% of Americans thought that the government went too far in restricting civil liberties. 3 years later, we see 45% of Americans think so. We see that with knowledge comes opposition. How can you oppose something that you know nothing about, right? So perhaps not surprisingly, the government is doing everything it can so that the public knows as little as possible about these programs. In Washington, I'm Gayane Chichakan.
Snowden's latest leak particularly highlights Microsoft. The computer firm allegedly installed backdoor access to its services exclusively for government surveillance. If that's the case, Microsoft's denial that it handed over data would still be true because the government wouldn't even need to ask. And Ray McGovern, a retired CIA officer, says this perfectly highlights the problem.
What's happened here is the U.S. companies have become joined in a way with the United States government in such a way that you have the corporations, the government, the media, and the Congress and judiciary all pretty much joining in a complicit attempt to circumvent the Constitution of the United States. There is zero concern on the part of the communications companies to violate the law. They know that they'll be protected, even if it's ex post facto. So Skype, of course, is where we're communicating. My greetings to the NSA people who are watching us by simulcast. I just learned from this latest revelation that not only can they intercept our voice, but they see our images. So hello to all the NSA monitors out there.